She was a fever from which I will never recover. All heat and hunger. She inflamed my senses.
Save me.
And when she had devoured my very soul, please, when I had nothing left to surrender, she abandoned me to the wreckage of myself and smiled.
In Kingdom of Passion, the ruler is obsession. Calvin Klein's obsession.
Oh, the smell of it.
What's up, guys? Matt here, FragranceMatt, and welcome to a brand new fragrance review. Hope you're all doing well. Now, in tonight's video, I have a fragrance that I actually never thought I would ever own. It's a dream come true, in all honesty, because this was one of the fragrances that I never thought I would ever be able to find for a decent price, on eBay that is. Because as you guys know, I'm really into my vintage fragrances. I always have been. There's something just about how fragrances used to smell back then. And I think when they're replicated in their newer versions, like the fragrance that I'm going to be reviewing, you really do see the difference. Just this huge comparison between both of them. And the fragrance, guys, that I'm of course reviewing is Obsession. This is a first edition eau de parfum, 50ml. It's half full, which of course means that it was used before, but that doesn't bother me. It came from a person who collected perfumes, and after looking at all of the reviews for this person on eBay, I realized that it was a legit seller. I realized that I should just go for it. And I mean, for the price, I can see why it's in all honesty, I can see why this is very inexpensive for me, because of the way the box looks. I had to clean the bottle up as well, which of course I will show you, but just everything about this. Of course, if you guys have seen the newer version of Obsession, which I've got somewhere, I don't even know where I've put it, but you guys know what it looks like. I'll post a picture of it right here so you guys can see. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's pretty boring looking, in all honesty. It's gone through many different bottle designs, which of course you guys are looking at right now on the screen. If you go way back, this fragrance started out with its own bottle design, which was very unique at the time, and no one had actually ever seen a bottle that looked like what I'm about to show you. But as you guys saw in the commercial just at the beginning of the video there, I just had to show it because it's, you know, for the sheer fact that the bottle in the commercial is the exact formula that I own right here. And the fact that I know this is because on the back of the box here, it says this exclusive formula contains. Then it has all of the ingredients listed. That's how I know that this is an actual 1985 first formula edition of Obsession. And as you guys may or not know, Obsession is one of my favorite fragrances. I don't know what it is about it. I've just got a thing for Orientals, and the way this smells it's really just, I don't know. It came from, of course, the mid 80s, a very loud decade. Everything was just, you know, very over the top. It was a bold decade, you know, and the fragrances, of course, that were released in the 80s were very bold, bombastic, and this was just a prime example of it. And I cannot wait to actually show you guys the bottle and really get into the true smell, because I mean, whilst I was cleaning the bottle, I was getting a little bit of residue on my hands. What I mean by that is I was getting bits of perfume, like the actual color of the juice. I was getting it on my hands. It was like this really dark brown, and it hasn't stained. I mean, I've washed my hands since and it came off just fine, but that just goes to show how concentrated this fragrance really is, and I'm going to show you guys that just a second. But a little bit about who designed it. This was designed by a perfumer named Jean Guichard, and he's been around since the late 1970s. He created a perfume from Carven called Madame de Carven, which of course I've never smelled, but Carven are a huge house. And you know, he's made fragrances from Cartier as well. He also released a fragrance for them in 1995 called So Pretty. And not to mention, he's released like two of my almost other famous but favorite fragrances from Cacharel, and those fragrances are Eden and Lulu, which are just, again, very loud perfumes that are totally, which you could consider dated. I wouldn't personally. I think fragrance is timeless. In all fairness, I can see why people think smells are dated. So if you think fragrances are dated, then you'll have very different opinions to what I actually really feel about this fragrance, because this one people would consider dated. People would call this just a fragrance that doesn't work nowadays. But of course we will get into it. I've been speaking for a long time, so let's get a little bit into the bottle now, the box and the bottle. So it comes up like this. It's blue inside the packaging. Opens up like this, and then inside we have the actual bottle design, which is just very, very stunning. Check this out, guys. So if you saw the commercial, it's the same bottle design, and it's really, really cool. You know, I've seen the original bottle design for Obsession a lot in pictures, and of course in the commercial a lot. I'm a frag head. I watch fragrance commercials. Let me know if you guys do as well. I just sometimes watch them in my spare time. Just when I'm wearing a fragrance, it's cool to check out the commercial to get like a feel from the campaign and stuff. But it's just so cool. I mean, the color of the juice. I mean, it's like some dark rum or something. It's definitely that kind of color. It's really, really beautiful, and I'm in love with the bottle design overall. And the way the cap comes off, you unscrew it here, and then it's a splash. I've got a thing for splashes. There's just something about them. I love the whole vintage side of them, and of course, I mean, it was the original way to apply fragrances years ago. Some companies do actually still release splash versions of their fragrances, but not a lot of them do. So yeah, guys, it's just absolutely stunning with this. It's like an opaque brown, and then you get like the gold trim around the cap there. It's just gorgeous, and we get the original Obsession logo with Calvin Klein underneath. It's just stunning. So let's get into a little bit about the main part of the review, which is of course the smell. This fragrance has so many notes, just like so many fragrances from the 70s, 80s. Companies weren't, perfumers were not allowed, perfumers, let me repeat that. Basically, perfumers were not afraid to use very loud perfume oils and ingredients in their fragrances. They wanted to use as many smells as possible to create these complex blends. So, an Obsession to me is one of them. So, here we go. Now, this is classified as an amber spicy scent. Now, I would completely agree. This is, without a doubt, ambery. It's balsamic. It's powdery. It's, to me, I think it's, I don't know if I would call it a sexy scent. I think it's sophisticated. I think if it's used in small doses, it can be a very sophisticated scent, but it is very mature. But again, what I mean by mature is, what I'm trying to say is, this isn't the type of scent a young girl would wear or a young guy would wear. It's mature in the way that it's a grown-up scent. It's a sophisticated, mature fragrance that isn't for kids, basically. It should be appreciated, I think, this scent, every time someone wears it. Because this is a very complex blend, and in terms of when you apply it, it really does change, and it's one of those fragrances that does that, and I love scents that do that. I think a good fragrance should deliver like that. But let's get into the notes. So in the top of this, we get basil, we get some bergamot, mandarin orange, green notes, peach, and lemon. So this, like I said, a very complex, very mature, rich, potent fragrance. I own the new version, like I said in the beginning. Used like half a bottle of it, so I know what it's like deep down. I know about the scent life. It does last a long time, but there's this compared to this, there's this weird like plastic screechiness to the scent when you first spray it. It's like it's like it's trying to replicate this. Now when I smell this, I really oh wow, I really get this. Just it's like the smell of Obsession as I've always known it from the newer formulations. But if this was literally like an absolute or an extract to parfum, I mean, this could be a parfum. I mean, just look at it. It's so oily. It's leaving like a shine on my hand at the moment. The smell is just amazing. Now, when I first smell this, I'm not really getting, in honesty, I'm not really getting any citruses. There's maybe a little bit of an orange smell. It's not like it's, what's the word? It's not tart. It's actually very. It actually a little bit smells like a kind of like an orange peel type of smell. And behind that, there's definitely this sort of herbal approach. Kind of like a kitchen spice, like a herbal kitchen herbs, like a chopped herbs kind of smell, you know. That'll be the basil, I'm guessing. But I'm just getting so many notes put together. It's like I said, very, very complex stuff. In the middle of the fragrance, though, is where it gets very, very nice, in my opinion. But in the top still, I mean, I am getting a little bit peach, but the peach is kind of toned down. It isn't like Poème by Lancôme, nor is it like what's it called, Rare Gold by Avon, or anything like that. Yeah, this is more on the spicy approach, which is why in the middle, Fragrantica has it down as spices, but I get more than that, but I'm just going to list it as spices here. We get sandalwood in the mid, we get coriander, oak moss, cedarwood, orange blossom, jasmine, and rose. So yeah, there's actually some spices, there's some wood, there's some moss in there. Yeah, if anything, what I'm getting is just this very nice powdery, almost cosmetic-y, amber, florally, orange blossom, cedarwood scent. And what I mean by, and I know when you guys are hearing me right now, that just sounds like me just waffling any notes together. But that's what I'm getting. It's very much just a very complex blend, but all of them together create this almost cosmetic-y, kind of like a, I don't know if iris flower is in this, because iris is known to create kind of like a lipstick vibe. And with this, I do get that almost lipstick, woman's handbag, makeup bag kind of smell out of this. With so much cinnamon, which isn't sharp, is more on the creamy side, I guess. Yeah, it's like a creamy cinnamon kind of spice, along with that cosmetic-y, strange cosmetic vibe that's definitely going on in Obsession. It's just so difficult, but I think works. I mean, it's just gorgeous. One of my other favorite Orientals, which comes from the house of Rochas, known as Rochas Absolute, which I do own somewhere. That is definitely falls in the same vein as Obsession, because that has the iris flower, and that gives it the cosmetic lipstick type of smell, along with all of the florals that has in it, and the balsamic notes along with it. Yeah, this one is really what started all that off, I think. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, when I smell this, there's no company out there now which is creating a scent like this. This is a fragrance hidden in its own time. Even in the newer bottles, it's crazy. Just smelling the newer bottles and then smelling this, there's just so much difference. This one's richer, it's bolder, it's so much stronger to the point where, I mean, this, I've got some drying down on this hand now, and I put this on about 4 o'clock. Well, it was actually about 3:30. I put it on my hand, and it's still going so strong. And it's now, it's almost 11 o'clock now, and it's still going so strong. So yeah, this is just strong stuff. It's excellent. Now in the base, the notes is basically most of the base notes are what you get straight up, and those notes are the amber, incense, vanilla, civet, musk, and vetiver. So in the dry down, there is definitely a green approach going on in the dry down. Like, I think just because of the moss and the earthiness, yeah, there's definitely something going on there. Maybe a little bit of a kind of weird, fresh, soapy kind of smell going on too. It's just absolutely stunning. Like, just easily one of the best perfumes I've personally ever smelled. And that's just my opinion. Of course, everyone out there has their own favourite scents. This is mine, guys. Just an absolute work of art from Jean Gauchard. Stunning. But yeah, there's so much amber in this fragrance that you get it up top. You know, you notice it straight away. But for the sake of the review, I just had to try and notice anything else that was going on, like the intended notes, and there's not much citruses going on. There's maybe a little bit of an orange blossom going on up top. I mean, even that's in the middle, but the orange blossom does play a big role in creating this powdery scent. It's definitely that mandarin orange playing the part. It's definitely more of an orange vibe more than, of course, a bergamot or a lemon. But it's just really, really, really gorgeous. I don't know how many times I need to say that. But yeah, I just love it, guys. If you love Obsession and you love how it smells, you need to check out the women's version. But forget about it being for women, okay? Because, I mean, even though it's a very feminine looking bottle, if you look at it here, it's very pristine, and it definitely has just femininity written all over it, in all fairness. Yeah, guys, this has been my review. What else can I really say apart from the fact that it's stunning stuff? It's nuclear. I probably, in all honesty, still going on in the dry down there. I think this is going to be lasting probably till the early hours of the morning, because it's so strong, in all fairness. And I think the lady who sold me this, actually, she never really wore it. She kept it in a dark place. Because I realised when I actually got home from Blackpool, because yeah, guys, that's where I was. I went with my girlfriend to Blackpool for a few days, hence why I haven't been doing videos. Had a great time away. Yeah, I digress again. Obsession is stunning, and if you guys are interested in how it smells, I would recommend getting the vintage. It is expensive if you look on different sources, but I was able to get mine at a steal price, so it really just depends on where you look, if you're on eBay at the right time, that sort of thing. So yeah, guys, just amazing. And as a fragrance lover, fragrance wearer, and of course a collector, this is just, it's a piece of history right here, you know what I mean? And it's really going to shine in my collection. So I'm just really, really happy to have it. So yeah, Calvin Klein Obsession, guys. This is an exclusive version. Fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this review, and also let me know in the comments what you guys are wearing tonight. Do you have any favorite Orientals? Let me know. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, that's it. Keep smelling good, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.